What's up, everybody? My name is Keir. That's K-E-I-R, Keir, and you are watching the important things that really matter. And today's subject is going to be a continuation, part 1 video. This is the real purpose of dating. If you come to this video first, which is actually part 2, you will need to go back to video 1. As I was stating before in part 1, I had ran into this woman I met in a library. She was very, very nicely built. I mean, very, very, very nicely built. I mean, just like I said before, small waist, busty, nice hips, beautifully shaped behind, nice legs, beautiful chocolate brown woman. And so I went over and I spoke to her. I said, "Hello, how you doing?" I introduced myself. "Hey, my name is Keir." And so it, continue on. And so we got to know each other. We exchanged numbers. And so anyway, I went to go get her one day. And I went over her place. And we sat in the car. We talked for a while. This is what you want to do. Males and females, this is what you want to do. And what is that? Talk. Talk to the person. Get to know the person. Listen to the person and how they think. Listen to the person and how they think. Listen to the person and how they think. And so her and I were sitting in the car and we were talking. We had been talking for like an hour. I happened to get a little closer to her. I was like, "I smell some smoke in your clothes." It's like, "Do you smoke?" She was like, "I thought she smoked cigarettes." She told me, "I smoke a little weed." "You smoke a little weed?" "Yeah." And I'm like, brother. When I heard that, I was like immediately like, this is it. That's it. That's it. And so there are people that don't have no problems with dating folks that smoke marijuana or weed, and I'm going to tell you the reason why it is a problem if you are dating somebody that is doing that. Well, number one problem is this: they could have a drug addiction that you don't even know about. Or they could be one of those people that they just got to smoke weed every day. If they got to smoke weed every day, or they got to smoke marijuana every day, they got a drug problem, which is going to cause you problems. And it may not just be smoking weed or marijuana. This is male or females. I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men too. Ladies, if you say you dating somebody, you find out this person is smoking marijuana regularly, like I was saying to everybody, you may be dealing with somebody that's got a marijuana problem, a drug problem, which is going to cause you problems. Because the first thing I thought about was people who I knew of that smoked marijuana and had other problems. They started out with marijuana, then it moved to crack, or it started out marijuana, then it moved to crystal meth, or started out marijuana and may have moved to heroin. And so usually the marijuana is like a gateway drug. So you have to ask yourself this question: is this something that you even want to deal with? Because a person who has a drug addiction, they might end up stealing from you. A person that has a drug addiction, if somebody comes along and has some marijuana, they're like, "Oh yeah, let me hit that." What do you think they're going to do behind your back? They're going to screw around on you. Because the person say, "Well, I'll give you some of this if you give me some." And the person be like, "Okay." "Yeah, ain't nobody gonna know." So that was a turn off. But at first I was trying to say to myself, well, maybe that's, maybe that don't matter, because I'm still thinking about how good the woman looks. I'm still thinking about how good the woman looks. And so, like, maybe I'll give her a chance. I don't know. I'm like, because you start thinking about people in your family that may have had a problem or so, and you like, they cause everybody in the family a bunch of problems. And so anyway, so I was like, maybe I ignored it, even though you're not supposed to ignore it. And I should have just let it go right then and there, but I didn't, because the woman was built. So Anyway, so we talked some more, and this is the purpose. Males, females, this is the purpose. You need to talk and talk to the person. Talk to find out as much information about them as possible. And so we were talking, and one of the times we were talking, she was like, yeah, I screwed around on one of my past boyfriends. I'm like, you what? Yeah, I screwed around on one of my past boyfriends. You screwed around on one of your past boyfriends. When I heard that, I'm like, this is a wrap. This is a serious wrap. I need to drop her off, scratch out her number. I mean, I had to make myself take the pen and scratch her number out so I wouldn't get weak later on and look for the number, see if I could figure out what the numbers were. If I didn't scratch it all out real good, I made it a point to scratch it out really, 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 really good. So there was no way that I could see through the scratch out her numbers and call her, because she was that nice looking and that built. I mean, you follow what I'm saying? And so when she told me she screwed around on her ex-boyfriends, I was like, that's it. And that should be it for you too. You find out a woman, or you find out, ladies, a male that screwed around on their past girlfriends, that's an indication you might want to leave them alone. But the combination of the fact that the woman that I was going out with, number one, smoked marijuana, and it was kind of obvious that she smoked regularly because the marijuana was in her clothes. That's fact number one. Fact number two is she told me she screwed around. So if she screwed around on the past boyfriend, what's she gonna do to me? And it don't make sense for me to invest my time and invest my money in the person if they already told me they screwed around on some. Now I'm not gonna waste my time. And then we got in a conversation one time. She said, everybody I go out with, they drop me off and they don't never call me anymore. Well, that's the reason why. Well, part of the reason also too, I came by her house one day to pick her up, opened the door, I walked in the house, and it was like this cloud of smoke in the air. Because the lady moved, she lived with her sister. There was a cloud of marijuana smoke in the air. And I'm like, oh, shoot, man, leave this one alone. So I was sitting there and I'm like, I cannot inhale this air, because when you're working certain jobs, sometimes they do drug tests. And if you don't pass a drug test, you lose your job. So I'm like, let me get out of here. I said, I'm gonna wait outside in the car. And then when she came out to the car, she said, yeah, my sister said you don't smoke weed. I said, no, I don't. So anyway, that was pretty much it. When she was telling me that she had smoked marijuana from time to time, but when you smell it in their clothes, they smoking it more than time to time. That's number one. Number two, when she sat up here and told me she screwed around on one of her boyfriends, I said, nah, leave this alone. I'll go in her house, there's a cloud of marijuana smoke floating in the air. So her and her sister does this. So I got in my car, I left, I never called that woman again. That woman was built, she was beautiful, she was built, and if you don't watch the warning signs or the red flags, that can cause, somebody like that can cause you a whole lot of pain and suffering. Now, that person may have been with people in the past that didn't care whether they smoked marijuana or not. That's them. And the longer you stay in a relationship with somebody like that, their problem can get worse and worse. And next thing you know, every time a person come over your house, stuff be coming up missing. So to reiterate this again, the purpose of dating The real purpose of dating is to vet the person. In other words, super observe the person in different situations, around their family, around in public situations, around their friends. If you're dating a person and they never want to have introduce you to their friends, something's not right. Let me say that again. If you are dating somebody and you only know maybe one or two of their friends, something is not particularly right. Especially if you've been dating them a year and you only met one or two of her friends, what about the other friends? And why does this person don't want you to be around the other friends? There might be a reason because of that. Sometimes what's a very, very good reason that you need to be watching out for, if you're serious about a person, one of the things you need to watch out for is you need to look at the person's friends that they hang around. Because if that person is hanging around a bunch of friends that are very promiscuous, in other words, screw around on a number of different people, if their friends are like this, more than likely they are like this. Birds of a feather flock together. That is true. I found that throughout the years also too. So you need to see that. You also need to see how how this particular individual interacts with their family members. Say, for instance, you go over to a family function of theirs. You dating this person, whether they're male or female, you date the person. You around their family doing a family function. It's like, oh, this is nice family and stuff. And then you go around, you want to go around and talk to different family members and see if anybody says anything. Now, if you're a male and you're seeing a female, you want to specifically listen for if somebody says, oh, Shaniqua, Shaniqua's finally settling down. That's what you should be listening for. Shaniqua finally settling down. What is the opposite of that saying? The opposite of that saying is this. This person's been out in the street for so long. She's with you now, she's finally settling down. Which means if this person's been out there in the street, they may not be able to settle down with one person. That one person being you. Same thing for a man. Ladies, it might be a little bit different for a man. And I'll give you the reason why, ladies. The reason why is this. Say, for instance, you're dating this guy, everything's going well with you. And you go by the mother's house, and every time the guy leaves the room, the mama and or the grandmother might say something negative about the guy when he leaves the room to go to the bathroom. Then comes back to the room, they act like they didn't say nothing. And the guy don't know. So you listen to something that they say and it might turn you off about the person. What you need to understand is sometimes mama and sometimes grandmama look at you as being a threat. Well, how am I a threat? I'm about to tell you how you're a threat. You're a threat because before you come into the picture, the mama and the grandmama was getting money from the son to mama, and some of the money that's going to grandmama is now going to you. Because the man's taking you out. The man might be spending some money on you. Might be doing nice things for you. Might be doing nice things for you. Might be giving you a little bit of money every now and then. Okay, and you shouldn't think that somebody should be paying your bills. But if a guy is doing that, that's nice. You shouldn't be demanding, you shouldn't be like some women talking about, you went out with a guy first time and I got a car note and I need this $300 or $400 car note paid every month. Well, that's not his problem. You're not his wife. That's not his problem. You're not his wife. You hear what I'm saying? You shouldn't be doing nothing dumb like telling somebody they should be paying for your car note. And if you got to ask somebody to give you money for a car note and you just been out with them a couple of times, then maybe you shouldn't be driving that car. Maybe it's too expensive. And you didn't think about that until after you did it, after you got it. So, but anyway, it's different from women. It's different for a woman that's dating a guy, because mama and grandmama might be trying to throw a monkey wrench in you and the guy's relationship, because some of the money that would be going to mom and grandma is now going to you. Now you a threat. They getting less money, or may not be getting any money at all. So now they gonna say different things that's gonna make you try to leave the person alone. So you have to watch it, because you might have a good guy, but you need to have in the back of your mind that mom and grandma might be trying to sabotage things because you the threat. And that's the reason why you are the threat. Anyway, it's going to be a part 3 to this. And my name is Key Air, and you are watching the important things that really matter. Peace. Come back for part 3.